Okay. Hi, Sam. How are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
Well, I'm real good because I get to see you, but you don't seem like you're okay. What's going on?
Well, I don't know. I'm just feeling pretty overwhelmed and it's got a lot on my mind, I guess. Feeling just really tired and I
Yeah.
can't get out of bed. Um, haven't taken a shower in a couple days and my husband's not happy with me. And, the baby's 8 months old now and has started to crawl around and stuff, but I just feel really overwhelmed. I mean, there's 5 kids in the house now, and it's always something to do. I get up and there's always somebody jumping in my face and screaming and fighting, and diapers need to be changed, and laundry needs to be washed. And we clean one room, and the kids are fighting and screaming in another room. And I just feel very exhausted. And just lately, I haven't really felt happy or anything. I just kind of feel dead inside.
That's an awful lot of work, you know? And you were telling me a couple weeks ago that you felt a little overwhelmed, but not a lot, and how you really like playing with the kids and all. Are you getting any enjoyment with the kids at this point?
Honestly, I don't even want to be a mom. I can't even stand to be around them. They're just overwhelming me. And I just, every time I see them or I hear them or they're crying or whining or pulling on me or climbing on me or hitting me, it's just, oh, I just hate it. And I just totally feel like I just can't believe I have 5 kids. And I really thought having another baby would be a wonderful thing. And I used to really enjoy being a mom. And
Yeah.
now I mean, if I could drop them off on the corner, I probably would. I just can't do it. I feel like this is all I'm doing. I feel like it's like a wash, rinse, repeat cycle. And I just am so tired. I just don't want to get out of bed. And my husband's like super mad and he goes to work and he works a lot to help support
Mhm.
us. And sometimes he's working like 16-hour shifts and he comes home and he's grouchy and he wants to have food and he wants to relax and the kids are all over and he's happy and playing with them because he's been gone, but he's just mad at me. He just keeps telling me that I need to snap out of it. And he just wants things to go back to normal. And I just have been letting the house slide and I haven't really been doing any of the cleaning or cooking. And he was screaming at me the other night. I just hate my life.
It's gotten real bad, huh? Are you getting any help? I know for the first couple weeks, your mom had come down to help you with everybody, but have you had any help from, your mom or your sisters or gotten a sitter or something?
No, can't really afford a sitter. Uh, you know, my husband says too that I knew what I was getting into, so I need to handle it. And that's kind of how my family says, you're the
Yeah.
one that wanted all these kids. And they say they would help, but then when I ask, they're busy, and my sister's got their own lives. And so I'm feeling like, I don't know, I just feel like even when I call them, they don't want to talk to me because they already know that I'm going to complain. And
Yeah.
so I just quit talking to them because they avoid me. And if they do talk to me, they don't know what to say and they don't want to help or they're busy. And yeah, I mean, my mom even was like, you wanted these kids, you made your bed, now lie in it kind of type thing. And I did, but I thought things would be different. I thought my husband would help more and it'd be more of a partnership instead of this. I feel like a robot, like a robot mom.
Well, it sounds like you're just kind of going through the motions. You get up, you take care of the kids. It doesn't sound like you're doing anything for yourself. You mentioned you're not even having time to take a shower or anything. Are you getting sleep?
No, not really. Sometimes I sleep a lot, like as much as I want to. I feel like I just hit the pillow and I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
But the kids wake me up super early. The baby cries a lot still,
yeah,
I want to be fed. And I just, I don't feel rested. I just feel exhausted all the time and I'm crying and, I'm mad one minute. Like I get up in the morning and I just start trying to clean and I just start crying, sweeping the
yeah.
kitchen or, um, and I just think, what if I just wasn't here? What if I just didn't wake up? And that's kind of how I've been feeling.
Well, Sam, I'm really glad you came in. I mean, it sounds like it took a lot of effort to come in, and I'm glad you did. But some of the stuff you're saying really concerns me, like you're talking about, you know, you wish you could just drop the kids off, you wish you didn't have to get up. Are you having thoughts of hurting yourself or hurting the kids?
Sometimes I get really, really mad.
Yeah,
I mean, I love my kids, and I would never do it. I don't plan on doing anything, and I haven't. But I do have thoughts sometimes of, I can understand why moms, that have this postpartum depression and
hmm,
like that. They drown their kids in the bathtub or they do things like that. And not that I'd ever want to, but I do
right.
feel like I have a lot of thoughts where I'm just so angry and so frustrated that I picture them, something happening to them. And so I guess that's kind of why I wanted to come in today.
Yeah,
Sometimes too, I do get mad at my husband and I think about stuff
yeah,
like that too. If something were to just happen to him, because I think I'm mad because he gets to leave and go to work and I'm stuck and he doesn't want to help. And the more I ask or try to, the more he tells me I'm just being lazy. Um, And then, yeah, I mean, sometimes I do think if I just went into the bathroom and took a bunch of pills or, maybe put the kids down for a nap and then just went in the bathtub and, you know, went to sleep, that maybe, they'd be safe until he got home.
oh. Well, Sam, it's a lot going on there. You're not getting your proper sleep. You're not getting your proper nutrition. The baby's 8 months old, but your body hasn't had time to recover from that. Your hormones haven't had time to recover. It's a major, major event, as you know, having have 5 kids, especially, how old's your oldest now?
5,
5. So stair steps,
yes, one after another.
right?
And I feel it
So
in my body too. I don't feel like it's, I just feel really worn out.
yeah. So, a lot of things you're doing right. You are taking care of your kids, even though it's hard to get up out of bed. Um, you are maintaining your home. I know you say you hadn't been able to shower for a while, but you were able to get up and come in. But at this point, I think we really have to be concerned about some of these thoughts that you're having. I understand that you're saying, look, I'm not going to hurt them, but it sounds like you're having a lot of thoughts about hurting them or yourself. So, what would you think about maybe today going over? We have an inpatient hospital, and inpatient, you would go in. You would stay. Now you could have phone calls home. We can sometimes make arrangements for you to see the kids, but the whole reason for you staying is so we can give you some more intensive help. Um, make
That.
what's that, honey?
And I don't know about all that. I mean,
Okay. What's your
they're going to
concern?
watch the kids, and he's not going to want to do it. He's not going to want to take time off because then we can't pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like if I could just snap out of it, get back to work, no one else is going to do the job for me. But
Well, Sam, you've been trying to snap out of it and you've been doing, like I say, a lot of good stuff, but you haven't been able to. Now, what if, God forbid, today, you went to sleep and you woke up and you're in terrible pain and your appendix burst and we had to put you in the hospital? Would your husband find a way to take care of the kids, or would he say, no, you got to stay here with this burst appendix?
He would have to. He would have to do something about the kids.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, we've talked about this before. Mental health is just as important as physical health.
Yes, your mom.
I hear what the kids are. So, it wouldn't be for a real, real long time. You would have to talk to the psychiatrist about how long it would be. But it would be an opportunity for you, one, to get yourself out of the situation, to be outside. Because other than coming in here, are you getting out of the house?
No, I think that's part of why I haven't really been showering or anything. I mean, I didn't even shower today, to be honest, to come in here. It took everything just to get dressed because I don't remember which way is up. I can't remember the last time I've been out of the house. Probably the last time I came to see you.
Well, the last whole 5 years, more than 5 years of your life has been focused on these children, focused on other people. So if we took a little time and focused on you, to strengthen you up a little bit, to think of some more things you could do to, I'll just use the word cope because it sounds like it's getting overwhelming. So if we can strengthen you, think of some other things that you can do to get through this. Maybe even work with your husband a little so that he can see, yes, he is working hard. I know he's doing that.
He's not gonna like that.
But he comes home from work, right? And his work day's over.
Yeah.
When's your work day over?
Never. It's not. And I just think he's a good man. I just think he just has a hard time. He doesn't know what to do, so he doesn't do anything.
Well, we can also think of other supports for you because, it's a hard job that you have raising these children. And if it's gotten to the point where you're not enjoying them anymore, where you're having thoughts that you just want them away, that you just want to go away, that can kind of slip into some dangerous thoughts. But if we can kind of have you come in, have you talk about it, be away from the situation, maybe we can look into, I know that you are taking some medication for depression. We may have to tweak that.
Okay.
Because it doesn't sound like
you're right. It's definitely not working. I mean, I just feel like it's not done anything. I feel, if anything, I feel worse. So, I would like to feel better, and I'd like to feel better as quick as I could. So, I guess you're right.
Okay, so I'll tell you what the process is. I'm going to call over to our inpatient unit. We'll have our coordinator come in. We'll talk about the situation. She'll tell you a little more about what to expect. And then if you like, we can call your husband, tell him what's going on. We can probably get you right in today. He can bring any clothes or anything that you need. And if he needs some help with, what to do with the kids, we can talk to him about that. But our focus is going to be on you and getting you to feel a little stronger. Okay? You can do this. We just need sometimes to pull out the big guns and get a little more support.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You'll help me talk to him?
Of course I will. And my office is just down the hall. So I'm going to be, if it's okay with you, I'm going to be checking in on you. I want to make sure you're doing okay. If you have any concerns, I want to hear about them. But I think we just need to kind of take a little step back and give you some more support and strength so that you can start feeling some joy again. Because I know you love your kids. I
Yeah.
know you do.
Yes, she does.
See, they know too.
He
Oh,
is
I
like
love
right underneath the desk here. I'm sorry.
That was so perfect. Now
He's
he knows
making faces
we're
at
just
me.
role playing, right?
Yeah, he does. I was trying to keep a serious face. He's over here making faces, so I'm sorry.
Oh, I love it. That was perfect. But you know what? That would probably happen in the situation as some kid would be, oh no, she's in the office. This is not Tella.
But I mean, that's the reality, I guess. About it somehow.
Oh, I love that. That was perfect. This little voice goes, yes, she does. Okay, let's switch so we can do this so you can.
Okay, give me just 1 second. Where's Sierra? Come here, please. What do you need me for? Come tell me real quick. Come here. Come here. Do you want to say hi to Melanie?
Hi.
All right. Take your brother, please, somewhere away. I need him to not be a distraction. I need him away. He's popping up in my video here. I don't know. Would you give your brother too much Halloween candy? So,
Oh, did they trick or treat already?
all weekend they were going to the church and stuff and doing the trunk or treat. So they've got a stash already. He's locked up. It's like an ADHD kid. He's like, wah, 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 wah.
Zooming on sugar.
Yes, he is. So okay. Give
Okay.
me just 1 more second. We shut this door.
Okay.
I sometimes feel like the old woman who lives in a shoe. There is no quiet room. I know they say, you're supposed to have this quiet room with no kids around. It doesn't
Right.
exist in my house because there's too many of them.
I was doing an exam for a class and my brother and his kids were here. And in the middle of taking this exam, the 5-year-old comes in. We're going to order out now. What do you want to eat? So I had her come and I said, well, I'm in the middle of taking a test. And she kind of stood there and I said, this is Annabelle. She wants to know what I want to eat. And I said, get me barbecue plate. And she said, okay. And I'm like, okay, we'll go back to our test. So I'm like, life happens.
Yeah, it does. I think I told you about Sophia trying to share a note with me. And she was sliding in. Oh, maybe I didn't tell you. I was a therapist at work. So I was taking an exam here and it was late because that's why I do my work so late. And that's how come I ran out of time that one night too, because I tried to sit down when they go to bed. Is the only time they're not interrupting me. So I was sitting here and she actually was up late and she had drawn me a picture. It's actually this picture right here.
Aww.
And she was trying to give it to me during a test. And she slides it across my desk and I didn't want them to think that it was a note so I'm like trying to keep my eyes on the camera and I push her note and it knocks off the desk and she started crying and left and went in the room. So I was stressed the whole test. And then I go in there and I tell her when I'm done, I was like, I didn't mean to do that. And this is why. And so then she was okay with it. But I felt so bad. I was just like, here's your mom. You draw a picture. And she just goes whoosh off the desk.
You just held it up. Look, I've got a picture. This will help me.
Yeah, right. It's going to have all my answers, the whole drawing of me. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, Melanie. What brings you in? Oh, Sam. I forget. Hi, Sam. What brings you in today? How are you doing?
That's okay. I mean, same old. Same day as every other day.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's just the same thing over and over again. I get up, some kid cries. I get up, I take care of the kids. I referee the fights. I feed them. I change diapers. I clean up when they throw up. I do all this stuff. I try to get some kind of food, usually macaroni and cheese. And then before you know it, it's time for bed. We get our baths done, we get our bed, and I fall asleep. And, well, I don't fall asleep then. I do the laundry. And I do some kind of cleaning because, my husband's there going, why is the house a mess? and then I wake up 4 hours later and do it all again. I don't have time for anything. I don't have time to shower. I don't think I've had a shower in a week. And I just, I saw that we had our appointment and I thought, oh God, somebody's finally going to get these kids. And I thought, people say, why do you have so many kids? And I used to say, because I love them. I love kids. And I just look at them and I'm like, how can you love something that's so damn annoying? And then I think, I shouldn't look at my kids and go, geez, can someone just take them away? I mean, I look at my husband like that. He comes home and he's like, I've had a hard day at work and where's food and why are we having pizza again? And I just want to shove his face in it, because I'm like, are you kidding me? You're sitting there eating your pizza, drinking a beer, watching some damn ball game, and I'm wiping faces and wiping butts, and there's always some liquid coming out of somebody's kids. And I just don't know if I can do it anymore.
Gosh, well, just hearing a lot of things that are very, very worrisome, Sam. It sounds like you're dealing with a lot here. I'm concerned about you. I'm worried about how having the baby and everything that you're dealing with has been really overwhelming for you.
Well, it used to be okay. I mean, even when he was just born, it was okay. I mean, I was tired, but it was okay. But lately, I don't know, it's like I hit a wall. And I keep thinking, God, this is why animals eat their young. I mean, the other day, this is really the reason I came in, is the other day it was bath time. And it's just easier to put them all in. I mean, we have this big bathtub in my bathroom, and I just put them all in, and I just kind of soak them down. They're just. It used to be fun time, because it used to be they would be playing and laughing, and I'd be laughing and playing, and we'd all get soaked, and we just wouldn't worry about it. But I just looked at them, and I thought, I understand why that woman drowned her kids. And for like a minute, I thought, it wouldn't be that hard. I thought the oldest would not be happy, but if I did it quickly, and then I thought I couldn't hurt my kids, but I found myself thinking how I would do it. And I thought that it can't be good. I mean, I'll admit there's sometimes when, I mean, it's hard to get out of bed, and I think, what if I just took all my medication and just slept forever? And, maybe then my husband would see that I need help. But I don't know if I'd actually do it. But I think about it. It's like, it's almost like a fantasy I have, like waking up and there's no kids at all. And I could do stuff, like I could have friends, and I could eat something that's not left over on their plate, and I could take a shower. And I used to get my nails done, and you don't even want to see what they look like now. But I just can't shake these thoughts that it would be better if they were dead.
So you're having a lot of really dark, dark thoughts about hurting your children and even sometimes hurting yourself because you're going through a lot and it sounds like you don't have any support and you're not getting enough sleep.
I don't get sleep. And, you know, when the baby was new, my mother came and my sisters came and they all wanted to see him and they all wanted to help and they would bring casseroles and all this. And then it stopped. And for a while it was okay. But like if I called, like my mom will watch him every week when I come here. Although she'll always make some crack like, well, what are you, a rich lady now? So one of them fancy ladies going to their therapist while I watch your kids for you. But if I say like, can you watch them to give me a break? She says, you don't need a break from your kids. What's wrong with you? When they go to sleep, you have a break. But when they go to sleep, I have to clean the house. I have to do the laundry. The laundry never ends. I mean, what's the point? Is it ever going to end? And then I have people saying, like, we'll go to church and the older ladies will say, oh, I remember when my kids were this small. Those are the best years. Enjoy them. And I'm like, these are the best years? It gets worse. So I don't know what to do anymore. I can't do it and no one will help and no one understands. What should I do?
Well, I think listening to your story and kind of I'm trying to process and understand what's been happening, and what it sounds like to me is that, what I know from our interaction is that you are a good mom and that you love your children and that you have 5 beautiful children because you love children.
I do.
And you have been great. And I think that anybody in your situation with not having help and having 5 little beautiful faces to take care of all the time, and not being able to take care of yourself, not even being able to do basic things like sleep or shower, those are really important. And they always say that saying, when mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. Have you ever heard that saying before?
Yeah, but they seem fine. I mean, they're running around, playing, having a good time, and when they have a good time, I just look at them. I'm like, why can't I enjoy? It's like you said, I love kids, and sometimes I can look at my kids and think, oh, they're just perfect. They're just angels.
Yeah, it did.
But a lot of times now I look at them, I'm like, I can't stand them anymore. I want them to be gone because all they do is want things and they whine and they cry and it never ends. Even bath time used to be fun, but then I realized afterward there's a mess and I have to clean it up. And they sleep, that's fine, but I'm still working and I'm still doing stuff and I'm not even really accomplishing anything anymore. I mean, yesterday it took me 2 hours to fold one load of laundry because I just didn't have the energy.
You're working a job that never ends. You're working every minute of every moment.
I am.
Yeah, you are, and you're not getting any break, any recognition for any of the really hard work that you do. And when we talk about, I'm sorry, go. I'm sorry.
Still make me laugh. Okay.
I was so sorry. He's a nonstop.
Time out.
So when we look at when I mentioned before, when mama's not happy, no one is happy. It doesn't mean about the happiness about the children. If you think about it, you're the core center of their needs and their wants and what they have. And so if you're not there in the home, being able to feel good and getting rest and taking care of yourself, even with the simplest things, like you said, not showering or not eating well, then you're not going to be able to continue to do this. And anybody in your situation would feel this way because you're literally doing a job with no break. And it's been 8 months now. You have been doing this over and over and over. And so if we don't take care of you, then there's not going to be there anyone to take care of the family. And so we have to really look at it as, focusing on you, Sam, where I know that you're so used to focusing on you being last. But really, we need to look at you being the first and foremost, most important part of this family. You're the key ingredient. And
But I can't do it. I can't be the key ingredient anymore. I can't. I mean, I'm falling apart, so now my family's falling apart, and I mean, what do I do?
well, I think at this point, you and I have been working and doing the antidepressants. We were hoping that would help, and
It's not.
because that's not helped, obviously, yes, that's true, and things I think have gotten actually worse for you. And the things me today are very concerning, and I'm very worried about your safety. And I think that you're kind of being surrounded by a dark cloud right now, and it's very hard for you to break free from that because you're not getting a chance to rest and a chance to be just, worked on for yourself and focusing on yourself first. So I think that's my recommendation today, is that we actually consider a little more intensive therapy and intensive treatment. And I feel
Like,
that the best option for you is to consider going into the hospital, someplace that I can monitor you very closely. You and I can work together, and we'll see each other every day. You'll be able to rest and kind of take a break from the kids and work through how you've been feeling, to kind of get you feeling better and upbeat and not having these thoughts, because these are scary thoughts.
but how can I do that? Who's gonna take care of the kids? I mean, they can't take care of themselves, and
Of course
you know,
not. If you were in a car accident, heaven forbid, and you ended up in the hospital, do you think your husband would be able to find the family and pull them together to take care of the kids while you were sick and being taken care of?
yeah, I mean, he would find a way if I couldn't go home. Is that like, I mean, is it that point now that it's like I'm like a car wreck and I need to go in and
I would definitely think so. I think, you made, so let's kind of recap and go over what I've heard you tell me today. So we've got, you're not sleeping well. You're not able to shower and take care of your basic needs, eating, sleeping, washing. It's really hard for you to do any kind of laundry. It's taking you hours to do one load of laundry. The children, I think the most important piece of this is, not only do you feel really down on yourself and are feeling hopeless and feeling helpless, but most importantly, you're starting to have some thoughts of hurting yourself and hurting the children. And those are very serious thoughts. Not that I think that, you've said anything to say that that's really what you want to do.
I
But
don't want to.
of course not. And, you're a great mom. And I don't think
feel
you
like I am.
want to do that. Well, sometimes this is what happens when people have too much on their plate. Everybody has a breaking point. Everyone has a load that's only so large that we can carry. And when we can't hold on to the load with our two hands, the load starts to spill over, right? Just like when you carry a large load of laundry, and if it's too big, then the laundry's flopping all over the floor, and you can't hold it on your own. So you need help. You need someone to be there to help carry the things and help carry the load for you, so that you're able to bring it to where you need it to be. And that's kind of what we're doing today. You've got so much on your plate. And two, you've got to think about, you've had this baby 8 months ago, number 5,
Yeah.
and you've kind of had the kids back to back to back, so you've never really gotten a break. And you're physically, your body is not even healed completely. You've got a lot of hormonal changes, and just that's a lot of wear and tear on yourself physically. And when we have physical pain, we also have emotional pain, and that can wear us down. When we don't feel well, that makes us sad. So, I think you've got a lot of different things that are piled up on your load here, and we need to look at trying to help you.
So it sounds like a good idea. Will you help me? Will you help me get in?
Just a second. I'm sorry. I have chaos me in my home. Stop chasing them.
I'm trying to
Just keep them in there and tell them sit with them, please. 5 more minutes. Thank you. Too much. So sorry.
That's okay. Let me get flat affect. So will you help me do this? Will you help me tell my husband about this? Because it sounds like, well, it sounds like it'd be good because I could get some sleep and get away from them for a while. And hopefully, I mean, do you think, because I've heard of other people have this postpartum depression, and is it something that can be cured?
Well, it isn't so much like a cure. There's no magic pill for that, but there's definitely a process that we can do things to alleviate how you feel between the medications and helping regulate some of those hormones with the serotonin and the dopamine, and getting you to feel less depressed and a little bit more hopeful and upbeat, optimistic about the future. And it's also a combination of getting you to feel well rested and get some nutrition back in you, and then also a combination of therapy like we've been doing, but more intensive, where we can talk more about these feelings and where they come from, and we can brainstorm about ways that we can help you, so that when you start to notice that you're starting to feel overwhelmed, we have things in place so that this doesn't happen again. So I definitely think we can get you feeling better and definitely more stable. And I would be more than happy to help you with your husband. Anything that we can do, I'll call the hospital and let them know you're coming, and your husband can bring the things and meet us there. And, we can go on over and get you checked in, and then I'll be there every day to check on you. And
Will
we'll
you?
work through this. Absolutely. And I don't think this is a permanent thing, Sam. I think you're just going through a lot of what I call external stressors, things that you don't really have control over, but you've been trying to hold on to for so long in balance, and you've done a fine job. It's just that now there's just too much stuff on that load.
There is.
Yeah. Well, I think you're making the right choice. I'm glad to hear that you're willing to go, and I think that we need to do this right away to get you feeling better.
Okay. We'll do it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm looking for the stop recording button.
I am so sorry.
There it is.